Can I be rude and ask you how old you guys are?
Yep, I'm 33.
Yeah.
I'm 31.
Okay, awesome. And what do you guys do for a job?
I'm an academic, so I'm a university lecturer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to love
Which is why I'm on the street on a Thursday.
I'm going to love talking to you. What do you lecture at university?
Education and also like research methods.
Oh,
yeah.
wow,
yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions I want to ask you. How about you?
I'm a children's librarian.
Wonderful. Okay, I've got so many important things I would love to ask you. One, do you think it's more important for people to get a job because they think they're going to be like financially secure or rich, or be really happy in the thing that they're going to pick?
I definitely think really happy. The university I work at gets a lot of people who are like second career or coming to us after a long time in other industries, and definitely I think you have to love what you do.
Yeah, really good point. How about you?
Yeah, well, I used to be a teacher and then I swapped into being a children's librarian because I just didn't love it. And I earned more as a teacher than I do now, but I think that going to work happy, it like makes your life so much better.
Yeah. Can I give you a bit of a controversial POV?
Okay.
I think the most important thing that you can do in your entire life is study the curriculum of who you are.
I
think
agree.
that's incredibly important, right?
Yeah.
Because when you know who you are, it helps you decide the things, your values, the community, the people that you want to serve, gives you a really clear direction.
Yeah.
I just interviewed two schoolgirls and I said, they're in year 12, in your 13 years of school, have you ever been asked who you are and what you want to do and have a tailored question just for you? And they said no. Do you find that absolutely crazy that school doesn't do that?
No, because I know what our curriculum is like. But yeah, I think I think a lot of people actually do that at university though. A lot of people jump around in what they're looking for, and a lot of if you go into the arts especially, I think people who go into arts degrees and stuff, they have a lot of opportunity to do that and like explore who they are and what they think about the world. I'm a history teacher, so I think history also does that.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
I was a CEO for a big education company, and I used to put university curriculums together, so I actually know how to map them, right?
Yeah.
The one thing that I found, this is why I ended up doing what I'm doing, the one thing that I absolutely found was that universities essentially usually map a curriculum based on the ease of the delivery of the subjects that they have. It's not necessarily based on the highest chance for the person connected to the job that they want to do. So it's usually based around something that's more practical than pragmatic.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
Yeah.
So I guess my argument is not that university's bad, but you know how you just said university, you've got the opportunity to jump around? That's an unbelievably expensive way to find out.
It really is.
It really
but
is,
we don't
right?
think about it sometimes because HEX can be like such a hidden cost. Like if you're not actually looking at your HEX bill, especially when I was at uni, I didn't even know how to look at it. And now if you just like look in your ATO portal or whatever and you accidentally stumble across your HEX debt. But yeah, it is an expensive way.
So what do you think the cheapest degree costs you? Do you know?
Well,
I mean, I don't know how many of them are like funded. Well, I feel like mine was like 40,000, maybe 50,000, and that was a while ago. So it's probably more expensive, and teaching is subsidised.
I know a year in the research course that I teach, a year is 6,000. So I can imagine a 4-year degree would be at least 25.
So I'm going to tell you something controversial. Do you know the cheapest degree is over 100,000, even if it only costs you 24 grand? And I'll tell you why. A lot of people move out of home, so they're renting. They're not earning the income from having a job. And then when they want to go and borrow money to purchase a home, HEX obviously is held against them, so they can't borrow as much money. So I guess I design what I'm doing because for that exact reason. Because I think like you need awareness and clarity first to figure out who you are. And then when you're 13 and 23, it's the time in your life you've got the least responsibility. So that gives you the opportunity to try as many things as possible. I feel like as we get older, we get laden with more and more responsibility.
Oh, for sure. I feel like people
pets,
as well will get set in a career, and because they then have all of those responsibilities, they then can't change out of that career.
Absolutely.
Because they can't afford, or it costs, and they can't afford to leave.
And that surely doesn't lead to a really purpose-led, happy existence, because you spend a lot of time at work. I find it really interesting that you're academic. Not that I don't think it's bad. I don't think anything's bad, to be honest. I think if you know what you want to do, like if you want to be a teacher, then university's the way to go. But figuring out if you want to be a teacher, I think is broken.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I would 100% agree.
I also feel like at school, a lot of people will tell you what you are and what you're good at or what you're not good at. And so based on that, you make decisions about yourself based around what everyone else says.
Or like, your parents and
exactly.
friends.
Like when I was at school, I got told, oh, you're really good at maths, you're really good at science. So I went into...
STEM?
I went into engineering and I started it and I hated it. And I was like, actually, you know what, I'm not very good at? Like, I'm not a very quick problem-solving person, and that is literally engineering. But because I was academic and I could like do science, I could do maths, people were like, oh, that's what you should do. But it didn't suit my personality because I actually don't enjoy like a problem-solving style like career. But that's what I'd always been told I would be amazing at.
I've forgotten the question. I was just listening to you.
Yeah. You know, it's real. My own experience is I studied music when I was young, and everyone said to me, "Don't do that, Johnny.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have no job, you're going to have no career, you're not going to make any money out of it." And I ended up building a massive school with over 1,000 students, and I've gotten to travel the world with it.
Yeah.
I worked at Abbey Road in London.
Yeah. But you know, it's the government as well, because like the job ready graduates package and stuff really prioritises people going into jobs, and like the arts are defunded, and like look at even ANU at the moment, they're like getting rid of their music program. So like I think the sort of the love of doing things is being really devalued as well.
So the one thing I've noticed from when I graduated my degree is, and I noticed this when I had my own business, which is another I'm a controversial guy, it's another controversial take. I found that a lot of people that came into my business when I had it, that wanted to be educators in music, couldn't actually do it.
Yeah.
The reason is unis dropped the bar so low to get people in and graduated so they can get HECS, that they don't actually care as much about the outcome. So when they came into my business and I said to them, can you read this music? They go, we don't learn that at uni. I'm like, okay, so what did you do there? And they did very generic subjects and they got through. So the bars like dropped to get people through. I don't know if that's in every degree. That was the experience I had in a music sense. Because it all comes down to funding and there's no is there tenure anymore at universities?
I mean, there is technically, but anyone could be restructured out of the organisation at any moment.
Because they're wanting more subcontractors.
Yeah. It's much cheaper to have someone who can just get rid of easily. The restructures are crazy, actually. But it comes back to government funding. Like, if you look at the numbers, it's just dropped so much. And it is prioritising universities trying to get people through, and rather than being about knowledge.
You guys being in education, do you know where education started?
Yeah, like in the Industrial Revolution.
It was actually a little bit before that, but yes.
Yeah, like to get...
It was in Prussia, which is old Germany.
Yeah.
And before the Industrial Revolution, it was a military structure, so they didn't have standardisation of education yet. That came a little bit later.
Yeah, it's not about, education is not about education. You saw that during COVID when parents were like, no, we need to get kids back into schools. We need to get kids back into schools because we've got to go to work. And so then it just really showed teachers exactly what people thought of what they were doing. Like, you need to look after our kids. Education is a second. We actually just need someone looking after them.
That is so, when I went through COVID with my kids, they said, Dad, you have worked us harder in the last 3 months than we've worked in the last 2 years in class. And I was like, really? I don't feel like we've gone that hard.
But I guess it's easier, though, for one adult with 2 children or 3 children, or how many children you have,
2,
versus 30.
That's true. Yeah. So when you have your own kids, what would you advise, or you may have children, I don't know, but what would you advise to young kids now that are going through? Would it be to try stuff? I don't want to feed you an answer. What would it be?
I think I would tell them to think really carefully about what the career looks like in the day-to-day. And I think this is helped by TikTok now, because you can go on TikTok and look at like day in the life of a nurse or day in the life of an accountant, a lawyer. And so I think that helps, because I think a lot of people, they have an idea about what a job is, but they don't actually know what it is and whether it would suit them. Like, do you want to sit in an office all day? Does that suit you to sit at a desk? Do you want something that is more about writing and thinking? Do you want something that's creative? And do you even know what jobs are creative? And I think that would be the thing, like, it comes back to, I guess, knowing yourself. But I would really encourage my children to think about who they are and what they actually want to do every day.
That's amazing advice. So I do like awareness and clarity, and then I do something a step beyond that, I say to people, have a LinkedIn account, which I don't think schools promote, and reach out to someone who is a school teacher and have a preview conversation and maybe pick 3 pathways in education and chat to 3 people and then maybe do some work placement, work for free, and you can actually get an idea and go, I love this, I really hate this, it's not what I thought.
And that's the thing, like if you're interested in education or working with young children, like there's so many different opportunities, like being a librarian or working in a museum or working at an outdoor rec camp. Like there are so many different
you guys would be great mentors. How about you? What advice would you give?
Yeah, I really feel like you have to like know yourself. Like I really agree with that. I have tried so many different things and it is expensive to like continuously like make changes in what you want to do. I'm happy in what I'm doing and I think it's because I now know exactly what I actually want my day-to-day to look like, what is important to me, like what kind of structure I need my day to look like. So yeah, and like my partner is the same. She's an electrical engineer, but she did that, but now she sits in an office all day and she's like, actually what I enjoy is hands-on, and she's like, I wish I had it, maybe I should have been an electrician instead, and maybe that would have been a more accurate pathway. So I think often like people get pushed into like what people think is the higher end, or even like what you can earn the most or what is the most prestigious, but maybe that actually like not everyone needs to do that job. Like you don't need, like I'm not very ambitious and people are always trying to like push me into ambitious careers and I'm like, but that doesn't suit who I am. I don't want to do that.
Do you know what Ikigai is? It's like the Japanese formula of how you find your values. It's based on like you essentially get an identity statement, but you figure out like the values you want to do, what impact you want to have in the community or in the world, the things that really resonate with you. I work through that through what we do because I think that's actually what you just said is so important. I actually think everyone that I've ever met that's made a lot of money, billions of dollars even, they've always done it through something that they're unbelievably obsessed with, not something where they thought they'd make a lot of money. That's the common thing that I've heard. That's why I do what I do. The one thing that blows my mind, this is quite emotional, when kids are little, they dress up as superheroes or princesses, and like as parents, you fully advocate and support that. Like, you can be an astronaut, you can be whatever you want to be. And then somehow, when kids get older, parents say, hey, you should really get a job at McDonald's or KFC or at this supermarket for your first job because it's going to teach you responsibility, it's going to teach you... So parents sort of go, don't love your job, don't love it. Like, just get something, just do it.
Learn the values from it,
You learn the values of hard work.
You're going to learn how to fit into society. You need to be part of society. You need to learn like that civic duty.
But it's the last thing that parents do to their kids, like when they're little. That's pretty crazy. But we never really promote that. And I think like universities and schools have a way bigger responsibility in doing that. I think they should like try and... It's very hard because they're businesses ultimately. Do you think with AI that's going to like really disrupt so many things?
I don't know. The AI that I've used hasn't been very good yet. Maybe I'm not, like, I don't know, because I think two things. I don't think it's very good at this stage, but also AI relies on the knowledge that we already have. So we still need knowledge production to continue like the way we are and build knowledge. So I think for some things AI will disrupt things, but at the end of the day you still do need people who are innovating and making knowledge production, which AI, because it's based on patterns, will never be able to actually do.
So if I wanted to be a librarian, would I learn more coming into a library with you for a day?
If I was going to recommend anyone to be a librarian, I would say you should start working in a library first, because you can walk in entry-level jobs in libraries and see if that's something that you like, and then you can see what kind of library. There's also so many, like, it's like an information, like field. So like, what is it about that you like? There's public libraries, there's like so many different kinds of libraries, there's archives, like you can do so much. So going in, starting entry-level, and then seeing if it's something you like. And then even within, like, I work very specifically with children in like children programs and children's literature, but I also work with people who have, like, they do like the IT side. I work with people who do like adult things, like adult programs. There's a multicultural, like, so what is it within that you're interested in? And I just think to do that in person is the best way, and you learn, like, and you can do that. And I think it's lucky, because it is one of those things you can walk in as an entry-level job and work your way up into a position like later, and maybe you get the degree later, maybe you don't, maybe you like working in a library, like, and that's all you need, So I think it's if you want to be a librarian, that's one of the lucky ones where you can walk in entry-level and get a job quite young.
You know how you said your partner's an engineer?
Yeah.
I just came back from Disney World in Florida, And one of the job titles there is called an Imagineer.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of that job?
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video about them.
And
about
I
becoming
thought-
one.
Really? And
Yeah.
I thought, like I said this to my children, like you would never hear about this at school,
Yeah.
and you would never learn about this. And I find that like most people that study engineering, they don't really understand what engineering is. They just go, oh, it's civil, it's structural,
Yeah.
it's like mechanical. But they actually don't know there's so many different
things that you could
pathways
do.
down there that you could do. I think
Yeah, like you could work for Lego, I think, can't you, as an engineer, like making
that's
new
right.
things.
You could design rides.
Yeah.